Hello all, welcome back to Answer Writing Initiative at 9 pm. I'm Guna Mathivanan from Officers IAS Academy. If you are watching this Answer Writing Initiative for the first time, then please watch my first video in the playlist to know how to participate in this video series, this Answer Writing series. Right, so the question which I gave in the last video is regarding women empowerment. Discuss the multifaceted gender inequalities hindering women's empowerment in India. 10 marks. So how to answer this question? First, explain what is women empowerment. So women empowerment, you can define it's a process in which women is able to gain control over their own life and gets the ability to take decisions on her life choices. That is women empowerment, that is freedom of choices, right? So this women empowerment process is being hindered by, or there are many obstacles caused by various dimensions of gender inequalities. Like, so first point, define what is women empowerment and say that women empowerment is facing obstacles, the process is facing obstacles because of various gender inequalities. Link point, this is the link point which you have given for the next subheading, that is the multifaceted gender inequalities hindering women empowerment. What are those? You can write. So the social norms, cultural norms, that is different for men and women. So that is one obstacle. Second obstacle is education. Education for women, right? Because the social norms, cultural norms. Example for social cultural norms is, see, patriarchy is a social cultural norm. That is limiting your freedom of choices. That is limiting your distance to, get educated. Apart from that, education, see, the availability, the distance of the schools, the availability of toilets, separate toilets for women in school, right? Safety with respect to the schools, colleges. So all those are affecting the learning process of women. So without proper education, without proper skill, what happens? The labor force participation is also getting reduced. The labor force participation of women is less than 40%. Even those who are participating, they are not able to climb to the higher ladders because of the gender differences, biases caused by cultural norms. So labor force participation point you can mention, education you can mention, right? Under labor force participation, the cultural norms, political, the patriarchal bias, the safety, the sexual harassment at workplace, all those points if you want you can mention, right? You can also mention about the early marriage. You can mention about the early marriage, right? More than around 23% of women in India are getting married before completing 18 years of age. So early marriage will make the women dependent, will limit their opportunities, ultimately will affect their decision making. So that is another point. Then you can mention about the political inequalities, political representation, right? So if you take the Lok Sabha, the representation is less than 15%, assemblies it will be around 10 to 11%. So even there, when political representation is not fair, then you will not have women or gender sensitive policies. So that is also an obstacle for women empowerment, right? So you can also highlight the digital divide. We all know about the urban-rural digital divide, but there is a digital divide between men and women. Because of the above factors, education, labor force, awareness, social norms, the access to various technologies to women is also being limited, restricted, right? And in general, violence, in general, are you seeing any violence against men, right? In general, being a man, does anyone face any violence? But women are facing violence. At every level, we are able to see violence. So that is limiting their performance. So all these are, see, just a 10 marker question. We cannot highlight everything. You can bring in health component, okay, nutrient component, or everything we can bring in. But the 10 marker question you will limit. So I have given 7 points here. So how to conclude? How to conclude? So government has taken several efforts. Beti Bachao we can mention, Women Reservation Bill you can mention, Sexual Protection of Women from Sexual Harassment at the Workplace Act you can mention. Efforts are being taken, but only we cannot expect the government to bring a phenomenal change with respect to women empowerment. We need a multi-stakeholder approach. The various stakeholders of society should come forward and should remove all these obstacles, right? So that is one conclusion which you can give, right? So to unleash the women potential, we need a multi-stakeholder approach. We need a people's movement, right? So these are some points. This is one conclusion, this is one introduction, this is one set of points I am giving it here. You can have your own set of points as well, right? So this is regarding the question. So answers, I have given a model answer, you can go through. Harshini, your introduction is not so direct with the question, right? India's ranking in global gender gap index. When the question is about women empowerment, don't just restrict with gender gap, okay? There is nothing about women empowerment mentioned here. So that is the problem with your answer. Other than that, challenges, whatever you have mentioned is fine. Instead of literary gap, you are talking about the literacy gap between men and women, right? So you can talk about gender, you can just add the word gender, right? Gender literacy gap, okay? Health problems, nutrition, inequalities in employment, in the workplaces, access to financial services, stereotyping, safety and menstrual hygiene, you don't bring in gender inequality here. It is a natural inequality, but however this menstrual cycle, menstrual hygiene, safety has a connection with the empowerment. I don't deny that point, but the question is largely about gender inequality and women empowerment. This point can be avoided, okay? Yes, various initiatives taken by the government you have mentioned. Conclusion is also fine, right? With respect to Om Sneha, your introduction is fine. Health, survival, educational opportunity, economic participation, political empowerment, conclusion, everything is fine, right? I don't find any problem in your answer. Introduction is fine. Economic participation, political empowerment, fine. There is no big problem in your answer, it's fine. Arvindam, women in India have historically been subject to discrimination. This has hindered the empowerment in the following factors. Yes, link point is there, very good. So inequalities hindering women empowerment during birth, okay, education, work, transport, social compulsion. Early marriage you can say, fine, no problem. Political participation. Old age, recent India aging reported as a women, widows, outlive men. This results in challenges like physical, emotional, financial support for which they are dependent. This point is a deviation. So you're talking about the problems faced by widows or women, aged women who outlive men. I feel this is somewhat deviating. Women empowerment, you're talking about women empowerment at the old age. This point could have been slightly reshaped, right? Empowering women requires a holistic approach, though initiatives like play, okay, social mind. Your conclusion is fine, your points were fine except the old age, other points are fine. Maybe in between also you can highlight the keywords, Apart from that is fine, right? The question for today, so explain the concept of carbon credits and assess their effectiveness as a tool in addressing the climate change. So carbon credit and assess the effectiveness in addressing climate change is the question, 10 marker. right? So friends, there will be a slight change in the answer writing program timings. So as of now, we are having this answer writing program on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right, 4 days in a week. So there again we will be having 4 days in a week, no doubt. There will be a slight change in the days. Okay, so instead of Wednesday, we will be having it on other day, either it is on Sunday or Friday. I will let you know the revised timing of publishing the answer writing videos, right? So stay tuned. I will give you an update on this regard. So I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye, take care.